The first warning didn't feel like danger. It felt like hesitation. And that's why Lila almost missed it. It came on a Tuesday. Ordinary, quiet, forgettable, the kind of day nothing important is supposed to happen. Until it did. Her phone buzzed. One message. No name saved. Just a number. Don't take the deal. Lila stared at the screen. Then laughed. Because people don't get anonymous warnings before something good happens. They get congratulations. And this was good. Hours earlier, Lila had just signed the biggest contract of her life. A partnership that would triple her income, expand her brand, put her in rooms she used to pray about entering. She had worked for this, sacrificed for this, waited for this. So one strange message wasn't enough to shake her. Still, she didn't delete it. She read it again. Don't take the deal. No explanation, no threat, no urgency, just certainty. Lila locked her phone and pushed the thought away. Because Proverbs says wisdom calls out. But it doesn't force you to listen. And Lila? She wasn't listening. The first week was perfect. Too perfect. Everything aligned effortlessly. Money flowed. Opportunities stacked. People who once ignored her suddenly knew her name. Doors opened without effort. And that's what made it dangerous. Because Proverbs warns, when a path feels too smooth, you should check where it leads. Lila didn't. Instead, she leaned in. Hard. More meetings. More visibility. More yeses. Until one night, she saw something she wasn't meant to see. It wasn't dramatic. No alarms. No shouting. Just a document. Left open. Unlocked. And her name was on it. Not as a partner. As a cover. Lila's stomach dropped. She leaned closer. Reading faster now. The deal wasn't what it seemed. It was built on manipulation. Hidden transactions. Carefully worded deception. And her role? To make it look clean. Her reputation was the shield. Suddenly, the message made sense. Don't take the deal. Lila stepped back slowly. Her mind raced. Her heart pounded. This wasn't opportunity. It was exposure. And she had walked into it willingly. The next morning, everything looked the same. Smiles. Handshakes. Confidence. But now she could see it. The conversations that paused when she entered. The glances exchanged too quickly. The way decisions were made before discussions began. She had mistaken access for alignment. And that's where Proverbs draws the line. Because not everything that opens to you is sent for you. Lila wanted out. But it wasn't that simple. Contracts were signed. Money had moved. Her name was already attached. And walking away now would cost her everything she had just gained. So she did what most people do. She stayed quiet. At first. Just long enough to think. Just long enough to plan. Just long enough to convince herself she could fix it from the inside. But silence has a way of growing. One day turned into 3. 3 turned into a week. And with every day she said nothing. Her voice became harder to find. Until the second message came. Same number. You're already too deep. This time, she didn't laugh. This time, she felt it. That sharp, unmistakable pull Proverbs describes. When wisdom is no longer inviting, but warning. Lila sat in silence. Phone in her hand. Heart racing. She had 2 choices. Stay. And become part of something she didn't believe in. Or leave. And risk losing everything she had worked for. But Proverbs doesn't promise comfort. It promises direction. And direction doesn't always feel safe. That night, Lila didn't sleep. She sat on the floor of her apartment, back against the wall, staring at nothing. Thinking about the deal, the message, the document, and the version of herself she was slowly becoming. That was the part that scared her most. Not the loss. The change. Because compromise doesn't happen all at once. It happens quietly. Until the person you are starts looking unfamiliar. By morning, she had decided. Lila walked into the office. Same building. Same people. Same smiles. But a different heart. She didn't argue. Didn't explain. Didn't negotiate. She just said one sentence. I'm stepping away. The room went still. For a moment, no one spoke. Then someone smiled. That same calm, controlled smile. You're making a mistake. Lila held their gaze. No, she said quietly. I already did. And for the first time since the message came, she felt something return. Not excitement, not relief, clarity. Because wisdom doesn't always stop you from entering the wrong door. Sometimes, it meets you inside it, and shows you the way out. Weeks later, Lila would find out who sent the message. But that's not the part that mattered. What mattered was this. The warning came before the damage. She just didn't understand it. Until she was standing in it. And that's how Proverbs works. It doesn't shout to control you. It whispers, so you can choose. So when something feels right, but not peaceful, when everything looks perfect, but something inside you hesitates, don't ignore it, because the warning you dismissed today may be the only thing standing between you and a mistake that costs more than you can see. Because next time, she wouldn't get a message. Subscribe to see what happens when the warning never comes.